Hello and welcome to State of the Union. I'm Stefan Grobe in Brussels. When was the last time you saw Angela Merkel being emotional? While you think about it, I can tell you that the German Chancellor has been criticized for advocating stricter coronavirus rules over Christmas. Her proposals include shutting schools, restricting social contact, and generally showing more discipline than in the past. Ultimately, the decision will be made by the German states and not the federal government. But in a speech at the Bundestag this week, the normally restrained Merkel argued passionately in favor of the strictest possible measures. And rarely has she been seen so emotional in public.
Es mag ja sein, dass die Aufhebung der Schulpflicht das Falsche ist. Dann muss es der Digitalunterricht oder sonst was sein. Ich weiß es nicht. Das ist auch nicht meine Kompetenz. Da will ich mich nicht einmischen. Ich will nur sagen, wenn wir jetzt vor Weihnachten zu viele Kontakte haben und anschließend es das letzte Weihnachten mit den Großeltern war, dann werden wir etwas versäumt haben. Das sollten wir nicht tun, meine Damen und Herren.
It is fair to say that when it comes to Brexit, the time of emotions has long gone. Britain is due to stop following EU trading rules on the 31st of December. That's when the transition period will be over. Talks about new trade rules between the two have been dragging on for months, with both sides reconfirming their commitment again and again. Here's the British Foreign Minister just days ago.
Would like a free trade deal with the EU, but we're not going to sacrifice the basic points of democratic principle on fisheries, on control over our laws as we leave the transition period. And I think
in the meantime, Brussels has published contingency plans and confirmed separately that a travel ban to the EU because of COVID will be extended to British visitors. Right now, the travel ban is only applying to third countries. Joining me now is Nikolai von Odarza, Head of Research Division at the German Institute for International and Security Affairs and a specialist on the United Kingdom and the European Union. Welcome to the program.
Hello.
So, on Wednesday night, Boris Johnson shared a 3-hour dinner with Ursula von der Leyen, and everybody was hoping that this could break months of deadlock. Well, it did not. Did Johnson go to Brussels to get a deal or to show the British public that he really tried his best?
I think the moment we're in these negotiations, neither side wants to leave the table. And Boris Johnson wants to show that he tried everything with the EU to get a deal. He signals at every occasion that he is still interested in a deal, but he has not moved on his red lines in any shape or form. And this means for the EU, no deal is in sight.
Prior to his trip to Brussels, Johnson had told members of parliament that the EU wanted the automatic right to punish the UK in the future if it does not comply with new EU laws. Does he sound like a man who would do his utmost to come to an agreement?
I think that's a pattern we have seen with British prime ministers over the last 10 years. They go to Brussels and show that they're fighting against the European dragon, against the bureaucrats in Brussels. And so I think this is also much drama and political theater to his base. We all know if he wants to make a compromise, he can then say, I've succeeded in weakening the European position. It was me that fought against these regulations. And if he doesn't make a compromise, he can stick to his words and say, Brussels wasn't willing to go through our way. Now we, United Kingdom, have to go on our own way, and we are strong enough to do that. So he prepares the ground for both options, no deal or a deal.
We know for a long time that the EU requirements and the dreams of Brexiteers are incompatible. We also know that the negative economic consequences will be felt more in Britain than in the EU. So I guess my question is, will things need to get worse before they can get better? Do you see new negotiations again in the future?
I'm personally quite skeptical of this idea that we first need no deal to get to an agreement. I think this really is the last chance to get an amicable Brexit outcome. If we don't get an agreement, we have, as you said, very negative consequences in the UK. And we know that the British government will do everything to blame these negative consequences on the European Union. So in my point of view, it will be a very difficult and long way back to the negotiation table. So if we don't get an agreement in December, I think we have to prepare for a very, very long and difficult period with the UK and the EU.
All right, Nikolai von Ondatza from the German Institute for International and Security Affairs. Thank you so much for your insights.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Hopefully, the relationship between Europeans and Britons will not suffer, and people will always distinguish between the political and the personal. This week, fans of popular music commemorated the 40th anniversary of the murder of ex-Beatle John Lennon in New York. A man who, through his art, has advocated unconditional love and peace across borders and boundaries.
There are places I'll remember all my life, though some have changed.
Lennon was never into politics or into advocating a particular issue. Yet, his message resonated with millions and millions ever since. 40 years after his death, Lennon is still an icon of British culture and of European culture for that matter. Thus, a symbol of unity rather than division.
Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. Imagine all the people living life in peace.
That's it for this edition. I'm Stefan Grober. Thank you for watching. See you next week.